I'm overwhelmed and underdressed, a little strung out, a little stressed, but you can't see me. I had my head deep, deep down underground. Unless I want to, I can't be found, and you can't see me. But just don't call me crazy. It drives me mad. It drives me mad. Said it drives me mad. 'Cause I'm a bit strange and unique, but it ain't so bad. I ain't so bad. Swear I ain't half bad. People talk all about how hard I am on you. What they don't know is all I gotta do to keep it all from coming on. But just don't call me crazy. It drives me mad. It drives me mad. Said it drives me mad. But I'm a bit strange and unique, but it ain't so bad. It ain't so bad. Swear I ain't half bad. And when I'm crying and I can't stop, know it will pass. Yeah, know it will pass. And when I'm screaming at the top of my lungs, know it will pass. Yeah, know it will pass.
All right, I'm here. Just doing some pre-flight stuff. I'm a little bit bummed. Normally on your phone, if you just typed in @A, you can pull up all followers by A, and it doesn't seem to give you everybody anymore. You just kind of have to go to your followers list. Music today provided by the Pretzel app. Safe music for Twitch and YouTube. If I seem kind of weird, it's because I'm sober mostly, right? I'm supposed to be sober mostly for doing any sort of flights, even even simulated ones. I feel responsible for your safety on these flights. So I'm not completely lit, but if you're lit and I seem weird, yeah, it's 'cause I'm not as lit as you. 5 drink minimum. Laying room only. Well, what's up with the chat? Live chat currently unavailable. How's that? What? Oh yeah. Oops. That helps. I have no idea how it was set to private. Well, hopefully that's all fine now. Just looking over my followers list now on Twitter. Man, I follow some great people. Look, I'm not just blowing sunshine up your butts. You are some amazing folks, right? And you make Twitter wonderful. Whatever we're going to call it. Twitter X, whatever. But I've been on here a long time. And a lot of you have been on here a very long time. And you still put up with me, and I appreciate that. But you make Twitter absolutely unbelievable. So when I first started, it was all about the hashtag games, and people rise to prominence in the hashtag games because after you play 1,000 of them, 10,000 of them, you really start, the cream rises to the top. The people that have great brains come up with really new stuff, and that's how I started my followers list. And then just the people who are just different, that really stand out. And chances are, if I'm following you, you're one of those. You make Twitter wonderful. And we used to do hashtag FF Follower Friday, and then you'd post all of your followers, but everybody's got massive amounts of followers, and unless you're using some sort of database, it becomes really cumbersome. And but as we go, you know, maybe I'll, as I'm looking through this list, when people like Jack and Jack the Pirate, Josh Who, Truth Seeker. All right, it's the top of the hour. I need to get this bird off the ground. So I've got everything mostly plugged into the GPS. And I have scanned elevations. We're going to have to play this one. Can't autopilot this one. The terrain is just too up and down around here. We're in a Cessna Caravan today. Compared to an airline, it's much easier. I'd like to take a moment to introduce you. Hello, by the way, it's the top of the hour. Happy Friday. Hashtag FF Follower Friday. I don't want to confuse anybody by doing like hashtag FFF Follower Flight Friday. This is my way to try to give back a little bit to you folks who are so incredible and make Twitter the most amazing place. Elron wants us to take, you know, remember that whole, you need to take more time off and stop using Twitter so much and go outside. You are the reason why I'm obsessed and am always on it. All right. So we have our clearance. So today, I want to take you to 3 landmarks here in Colorado. One of them I don't go to because it's kind of hard to get in and out of. We'll be using the drone. I'll use our superpower and stop us in the air and use the drone to look around 3 landmarks. So, but there's more to see. But the Will Rogers Shrine, the Royal Gorge, and then back to a place called Bishop Castle. That one's really interesting, so please stick around. Then we'll land in Pueblo. You'll find I know the best Mexican restaurant and the best people, and I'm gonna hook you up. Okay. The mill stop in Pueblo. So now let me go ahead and introduce my invisible co-pilot, Steve. If you hate taxiing, normally at big airports it takes a long time to taxi. And yeah, a long time. Sometimes, like in Denver, like 30 minutes to taxi. And I normally use my assistant here to do the taxiing for us. And we only have to basically turn around. The AI has not been feeling well lately. Sometimes they even have a problem just getting us anywhere, so we're going to keep an eye on them. But basically our runway is just right behind us. So I'm hoping he can at least do that and get us there. Out in front of us, Colorado Springs, Colorado, the Front Range. There's Pikes Peak in the background in all of its majesty. 14,110 feet. Our first destination is directly ahead of us. Will Rogers Shrine of the Sun. And I've got this cool little thing called Bushtalk Radio, where she does the tours, right? Instead of me sitting there reading from Wikipedia and telling you about the place. This AI kicks in when we get near landmarks and will give us an audio tour or whatever. You'll see. I think Steve doesn't want to help today. He's like, nah, not feeling it today, buddy. You're on your own. This is your show. Show them that you can actually steer a plane. Yeah, okay. I could be in a pause mode too. No, I'm not. We are taking off here at I love these big Air Force planes at this parking area. So I love parking here. Plus, it's just right there next to runway 35. So fast in, fast out. So once we get in the air, and probably between, gotta stop on these.
Colorado Springs Tower, Kinneas, 2-1 ready for departure to the south at runway 35 right.
Kinneas 2-1 altimeter 30.16 wind 002 at 1 tree. South departure approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 35 right.
All right.
Cleared for takeoff runway 35 right.
This is normally for much bigger planes, so some of these there are some bumps in the runway. Sometimes if I don't hit them right, send the nose of the plane skyrocketing. I've done major damage to the plane on this runway. Just trying to take off. But if you don't know anything about me, this is my home, Colorado Springs, Colorado. For most of my life. I mean, I've lived lots of other places. Kansas City, Missouri when I was in college, and I've been out in California, Sacramento area, hanging out with my dad for a while. Lived in Wyoming for a little while. But this is mostly home. And I live about 5 minutes from here, this airport. This is the Colorado Springs Municipal Airport. I'll get you a good look at the of the plane and the interior where everybody's crowded in at. Now I know in the real world we'd never be able to get everybody onto a little plane like this.
Colorado Springs Tower, Kinneas, 2-1 continue for south departure.
But we have to use our imagination. Plus it makes it more fun to think of everybody crowded in here. I know some of you have been, wanting to show your affections towards others. Maybe you haven't yet on Twitter, but I know you do. This is your opportunity to get close. It'd be great if you stopped in the chat and said hi. It would even be better if you could help me out and click subscribe on YouTube. I really need to get my subscribers up on YouTube, and I could really use your help. All right, for just a little short jaunt out in front of us here, you can go ahead and hit the autopilot and just have it hold us here. Bring down the throttle a little bit and make sure flaps are up, so I can give you a good look at the aircraft. And let me reset my view. All right. So this is a Cessna Caravan. It's kind of like the Soccer Mom or minivan of planes. And then the next year moving up to, you know, they don't have like anything in between here, and then going much bigger. And then you're into jets, and then you're into airliners, and they need more planes like this because we're all Americans are much bigger people these days. Even doing training in one these days, you need to be like 172 pounds, and where's that feasible anymore? I'm gonna go and turn down Pretzel because the audio might kick in here for Bushtalk. Actually, let me pause the plane here too. Right below us is another place not on the list for today, but I didn't want to start writing everything that you could possibly see on this flight. But right below us is the Broadmoor. So if you are one of the VIP amongst the followers today, chances are when you come to Colorado Springs, this is where you're at. Move the plane a little bit forward. The chances are you're going to stay here. You're not going to want to stay in, you know, anything other than first class. And actually, chances are you're not going to stay here even. There's the Garden of the Gods club. So chances are if you're really one of the VIPs in this follower list today, that's where you're going to be staying. Not there, but the Garden of the Gods club, which is that way. And it's where the ritziest go to hide out. Nobody really knows about it, and that's why, you know. So this is the Broadmoor, though. So if you're really ritzy and you want everybody to know where you're at and then come visit you and conventions and whatnots, or play some golf or hang out, chances are you'll get a place over here. And it's featured in movies all the time. The only one that really comes to mind, though, right off the top of my head, is Austin Powers, surprisingly. And they did a shot this way from the lake looking at the back of the hotel. This was built by a dude named Spencer Penrose, and he brought out famous artists and architects to construct this place when trying to build up Colorado Springs in the 1800s. So, Maxfield Parrish. If you're into art, you know who that is. Yeah, Maxfield Parrish was out here and did a lot of paintings here on the balconies of his ladies, you know. All right, get back to the plane so we don't go crashing into the mountain here. Now, usually the Bushtalk kicks in about 1 mile Let me turn off the autopilot. About a mile from our destination. We're a lot closer than that right now, I think. The shrine sits on the hill here. All right, we are here. And I don't know why it hasn't kicked in. Maybe I have the audio down. I can't account for everything. There's so much to do when setting these dang shows up. Well, while I try to figure that out, listen to this great song.
Kiss me, dear. Kiss away all my silly fears. Go up and down and high and low, baby, just so you know. I'll never let you go. La 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 la, me tonight. You got to love me right. This day's been long, but baby, now that you're home, yeah. Kick off your boots, pull up a seat. I'll fix you something up to eat. A little something sweet. La 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 la, me tonight. You got to love me right. It's been a while since that easy smile. The sun is hot and so am I. Sweet kisses of butterflies on my inner thigh. La 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 la, me tonight. You got to love me right. La 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 la, me tonight. You got to love me right. La 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 la, me tonight. You got to love me right. La 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 la, me tonight. You gotta love me. You gotta love me right.
Cute tune. So the tour for this is missing. So go figure. Will Rogers Shrine of the Sun, also known as Will Rogers Shrine, is a commemorative tower and chapel on Cheyenne Mountain in Colorado Springs, Colorado. It's named after Will Rogers, an American humorist who died in a plane crash, hopefully we don't do today, in Alaska in 1935 during construction of the shrine. It's also a tomb for the remains of Spencer Penrose, who built many of the city's prominent properties, including the neighboring Cheyenne Mountain Zoo and the Broadmoor Resort, and his wife Julie Penrose. She was responsible for a lot of the arts coming into Colorado Springs. So it was completed by Penrose in 1937. The shrine is 100 feet. You're saying it. Good. Then we'll fly around it here. It's 100 feet. 5-story observation tower that overlooks the Broadmoor, Colorado Springs, and Garden of the Gods. It was listed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1994 for its artistic and architectural qualities. So the 5-story commemorative monument and an adjoining 1-story building with a chapel was designed by local architect Charles E. Thomas, who was hired by Julie and Spencer Penrose, the philanthropist, and developed to build the Broadmoor Resort and Cheyenne Mountain Zoo. The monument is made up of Romanesque revival architecture with buttresses and ornately decorated iron and brass door and narrow leaded windows. It is 100 feet tall. The shrine is partly named for the view of the rising and setting sun. Will Rogers, who died in 1935 in an airplane crash, is memorialized in images of his life displayed throughout the interior of the monument and in the name of the shrine. The shrine is also a memorial to the lives of Julian Spencer Penrose, whose tombs are in the monument at the lower level. The Pikes Peak region, the Pikes Peak region's history is depicted in a 340 square foot mural by Randall Davey, an artist from Santa Fe, New Mexico. Will Rogers Shrine of the Sun is entered through a stone gateway. The grounds are encircled by a stone wall made of the same stone block of pink granite quarried from Cheyenne Mountain used to make the tower. Within the stone walls are Joe Davidson's statue of Will Rogers, Chinese sculptures, which seem odd and out of place, and landscaping with plants native to the region. Avard Fairbanks made a bronze bust of Spencer Penrose. The building is constructed of granite, steel, cement, iron, and brass. Its roof was built of ceramic tile. There were no wood or nails in its construction. The interior has terrazzo floors, marble of ironworks. Stairs lead to the upper floors. It was completed in 1937 and dedicated on September 6, 1937. Total construction cost was about $250,000, equivalent to $5 million in 2022. Sections of the monument are a one-story building with a chapel, 5-story tower, and a staircase connecting the two. Blah 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 blah, and then it goes on and on and on. So yes, an impressive place. And the thing that struck me most as a kid, right? First of all, when you go to the zoo as a kid, they take you all the time on school trips, right? And the zoo's right there, down the hill. Amazing place. Much better these days. Then they would take you up here to the shrine. So the first thing that struck me when I got here as a kid is, holy moly, what did Hercules build this? Right? To see the stonework on this place, and to think they quarried it and moved all this rock, cut stone up this dang hill, this mountain, Cheyenne Mountain, where the NORAD's in and the Stargate's at, if you're into that kind of thing. What kind of men were these? You know, you see castles in Europe and stuff, and it's like, well, that's what they did. But then you see it here, and it's just so dang amazing as a kid. Well, even as an adult. And so these are the gardens they're talking about with the native plant life and the Chinese sculptures. So the bust of Will Rogers. Pardon me, I should have slowed the cam. I should have set the camera. Let me set the camera slower. I'm gonna move around. I'm herking it and jerking it. Be more cinematic in this, shall we? A little bit anyway. This may not seem that impressive because, you know, like, wow, this isn't like the best graphics. You have to realize we're in a simulated world and the whole world is in here. And in the next version, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, everything on the ground is going to start being much, much better. But this is the entire world. It's not a flight simulator. It's a world simulator. Believe me when I say your house is in here. All right. So then, yeah, these massive doors. And then up it goes as I go down. The chapel's on this side over here. Yeah, that's the chapel on the left there. Think about when they built this too. They weren't so far removed from the days when Indians were attacking. It was still a pretty wild place. So what a place. Yeah, just wow. What a feat of architecture and just the men that it required to build it. But then NORAD is here too. I mean, we have such amazing monuments and feats out here. To think that they, you know, built an entire complex in the mountain. And, you know, you always hear the rumors that, well, they built much more now. It's an entire city and it goes all the way down to Pueblo. They used to have it lit up at night, and then people decided to be crabby about it. You know, there's those people. At one time, we had lights on the top of Pikes Peak that you could see for hundreds of miles, and they're like, we want to see the lights on top of Pikes Peak, and they took them down. I wanted to put laser beams up there and grid the sky. I was a kid of the 80s. I was all Tron. So my proposal was, yeah, why just lights? Put laser beams up there. Shooting across the sky. So, come down here and have a small drinking picnic, parking, and then they have the tourist, little tourist building where you can pick up some swag. Now, see if I can make this turn. Yoo-hoo. Kill the engine and fall down here. So this is the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo. It is a wonderful zoo. It used to be... Then it went into disrepair in like the 70s and early 80s. And through our letters of protestation, they did a revival and started pumping lots of money into it. I think that's the new whole Mercat thing now that they got down there. And it's a charming zoo. So I really recommend it if you come out here and you're staying out here even for a couple of days. Please take your family or yourself or your kids to the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo. Again, you can't miss it. It's just right next to the Broadmoor down there. All right, so now we need to go downrange a bit that way and then hook it to the right, and we're headed to the Royal Gorge. It's not very far. Normally on these FFs, I bore you to death because they're long airliner flights. Freudian. Yeah, I'm redlining. Plane still thinks we're moving. My goodness, that's not good. You're a wing off.
Colorado Springs approach, Kittias 2-1. Request clearance to transition Charlie Airspace.
Oh, you'll be right back there. You wanted to sit in that person's lap anyway, didn't you?
Cleared through the Charlie airspace.
Cleared through Charlie Airspace, Kittias 2-1.
So, I had mentioned NORAD earlier, and we're coming up on it. They don't have it really fleshed out, and I can understand why, even for national security reasons. So there's not a whole lot of detail. It's here. But as far as that wonder shot that you always get at the start of like Stargate or other things of the entrance, not so much. This is the best I can do for you. Is There's lower level parking lot, upper level parking lot, and then the entryway into the mountain. And then what's missing on the top of Cheyenne Mountain is all the antenna. Don't know why. It's always been included in the simulators, but not this time. There might be a package you can get for it. But as I mentioned, we're getting ready to go to Microsoft 2024 now. Everything, all the technology is going to change to make the world way more real now. They realize a lot more people want to sightsee. And so they're having to redo the entire architecture to make it more accommodating to people that want to see the world. Normally, we're checking everything out at 10,000 feet, 30,000 feet. And so, you know, making the world perfect wasn't their main goal. It was creating a world-class simulator, in which it is. It's the most amazing simulator ever. What you put into it, you will get out of it. So if you really, really want to learn how to fly, you can. I mean, to like the licensing level. If you are interested in flying and then look at what you need to get your licenses, everything, pretty much everything that you would want to test or get, you know, to learn, you can do in here. Everything. But even if you just want to fool around, you know, it's simple enough for you to just get in and fly around. So I'm trying to save us the bat from having to go up to 14,000 feet. Try to climb over Pikes Peak. So we're going to come around it this way. If you're traveling from Kansas or anywhere out east, anywhere beyond this, it's all flat. And I think that's another reason why I love Colorado so much, is it's just so flat and everything seems so that way. And then you finally get here and it's like, oh, finally some mountains, something to see. Down below us should be Fort Carson Air Force Base, or Carson Army Base, and the airfields. Just a boy, love. Oh, one of the problems with being in that view, can't control the plane. Yeah, hang on to your drinks. So it should only take like 5, 10, 15 minutes. Let's just say 15 minutes. Just a boy, maybe a touch more, but it's not far. It's not far. And then to get to Bishops, it's not far. So I'll get us some elevation here and try to keep us going in a straight line. We'll turn on the autopilot. And we'll set it for a small little climb here. When they build these things, they don't think that, you know, of the simulator, like, oh, how do I keep my vision here and here? Maybe in the future they'll be like, oh, you know what? Maybe if we move this over here, so people in simulators don't, I better hurry or we're gonna crash into a mountain. Yeah, like soon. All right, there it is right ahead. 20.29 miles. And we should be good here. Do an alt hold there, and then we can be free to go out here and have a look around.
120.1 for Kineas 21. Denver approach Kineas 21.
Pikes Peak back there. Well, yeah, I want to show you the interior, where all the drinks are at, and help yourself. You are the VIPs. I really wouldn't want to have chairs like this in here. I'd rather just have a bunch of throw pillows, personally, or just small little couch seating on the sides, so everybody has to look at each other. This is way too formal. Oops. So I want a big bar back here, using that hollow space. Again, some cushions back here. So as I was saying, yeah, it might be a little tough fitting everybody in here, but that's the beauty of it. You people are a hoot. It's be one of the best flights ever. Turn on nav now. Change that to CDI. Let me turn that down. I said I wanted to go over some of the people that I'm following. One, that Tara Reid. Hey, thank you. Can you believe that? She's following. Aaron Turner, Butch Wright, Wendy Patterson, The Big Mouth, Sergeant Valdez, Felicia Rye, Brian Adams, Stacy Jackson, Janet Tarantino. You know, I've got a lot of those followers that are the same. I don't know, Korean, Chinese lady. Try to not encourage her behavior. Taylor Mahat, Amanda Crosby, Nate Kaltenbach, Eric Burton, Amor, Tara Reid, Josh Hu, Science Nature World, Janet Jeff, Mayor of DeSantisville. Let's leave politics out of things today. Comedy Game Show, Mad Talent Agency, Stephanie Bushy, Beat the Cheat Out of Dem, Haley Winchester, Laura UFO Guy, Spaceman, Patriots is one. The Trumpist. Mega Patriot. Yeah, you're like, Mega, you're one of those. Look, leave. It's Follower Friday. Leave politics on the runway. Scrolled up. Gas Giant, Daisy the Awkward Badass, Liam Alpha Male, Whiskey Vice, Random Thoughts, Enough is Enough, Mindy, Emily Patriot, Neil by Mouth, Simon Katz, Chizzy, Amy Pomeroy, Hounds Hashtags, Truth Warrior, Bravo Gulf Lima, Timothy Bass, Shelly Ultra Mega Joyce, Terrence Brown Jr., Keith Davies, Mike McLean, the plane, does not seem to be going where she's supposed to be going. No. That one. It's better. 5 miles. You gonna turn? It's being a baby. Doesn't want to do what I want it to do. Computers, you know. There we go. But learning how to fly these things by instrument has been one of the most satisfying things ever. Doing any sort of long flights, everything manually, oh man. So, watching videos on becoming instrument rated and learn how to use all the instruments in here, auto everything, really makes flying when it works. But the only problem is it's usually just user error. But still, never trust an autopilot. They will try to kill you so fast. Salty Steve, Aerostatica, P.I. Chris Cox, nah, baby, nah. I love ya. Wags, Mel Brooks, Sherry James, Real Stephanie Gaddis, Charlie Garrett, NC Gray, Nem, Bob Golan. Bob, you are one funny dude, Bob. I love you. Bob Janke's in here somewhere, of course. Will Eisner, Jerry Schauback, Nathan Kaiser, Admiral Nathan Kaiser, Juliet Morris, Jessica, Husker Fan Chuck, Alien UFO sightings. Yeah, I'm a sucker for them. Better look out here. All right, he's going off course. Oh, he's not. He's doing what he's supposed to do, but he's turning towards Bishops. So not only is this a gorge, it's a royal gorge. Now Bushtalk should be kicking in for this one. I hope it does. She does a better tour than I do. Kill the engines. Gotta float down there. So we're starting to see it about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, the bridge, the Royal Gorge Bridge. I know some of them you can fly under. I'm not going to take the chance. Some of them are illusions. That will probably be fixed with 2024 as well. That all bridges will be fully 3D and you can fly under them. Don't want to ruin the illusion of this. But people bungee jump off this thing. People are crazy. And Bushtalk didn't kick in again. All right, let's see if I can manually make it kick in this time. Royal Gorge. You need to be logged in. Aren't I? No? Well, that's the problem.
The Royal Gorge Bridge
There
is
we
a
go.
tourist attraction near Canyon City, Colorado within Royal Gorge Bridge and Park, a 360-acre amusement park located along the edge of the Royal Gorge around both ends of the bridge. The bridge crosses the gorge 955 feet above the Arkansas River and held the record of highest bridge in the world from 1929 until 2001, when it was surpassed by the Liuguang Bridge in China. The Royal Gorge Bridge maintained the title of the world's highest suspension bridge until the Biapan River Guanxing Highway Bridge was completed in 2003, also in China. The bridge remains the highest bridge in the United States and was among the 10 highest bridges in the world until 2012. The main span of the bridge between the towers is 880 feet, the total length is 1,260 feet, the width is 18 feet and the towers are 150 feet high. The steel base structure is covered with 1,292 wooden planks. Passenger vehicles are allowed to cross the bridge, but only before park attractions open or after they close, times depending on season. Oversized vehicles, including large trucks, RVs and buses, are not permitted to cross. The bridge was built in 6 months between June and November 1929 at a cost of $350,000. In 1931, the Incline Railway, or simply the Incline, was added beside the bridge to reach the bottom of the gorge. In the 1950s, a miniature railroad was built by the edge of the gorge and an aerial tram was opened in 1969. In the early 1980s, the bridge was renovated with new cable anchors, suspension rods and paint. A Skycoaster attraction was added in 2003, with riders being swung out over the edge of the gorge. In June 2013, a wildfire destroyed most of the park's buildings and the aerial tram, and damaged the incline. The bridge sustained only slight damage to the wooden deck and was otherwise undamaged, along with the Skycoaster. The park was rebuilt and partially reopened in August 2014. The park had a grand reopening in May 2015 with new gondolas and a new zipline crossing the gorge on the east side of the bridge.
I don't want to get on anything that took 6 months to build. I don't care. As a kid, it terrified me. I didn't want to go on. I'd rather be in the air. I'd rather be flying. Being on bridges terrifies me. Maybe that's a little too much information to give out over Twitter. But I don't like bridges at all. Maybe it's a past life thing. I don't know. My brain says no. Don't get anywhere near it. Don't get on it. Don't step near it. No. I mean, to put on a brave face, if we were there together, yeah, okay, sure. I'll walk it, but you know. And then people are zip lining off the thing and bungee jumping off the thing and doing all kinds of other things. No, thank you. That's just not my kind of adventure. I would be on YouTube for one of those 10 seconds before death TikToks, you know? That'd be me. Stupid man does accidentally stupid thing. You know, I wouldn't do it intentionally, but that's my luck, you know? What say you? Would you do it? You know what? My chat wasn't working earlier. And I want to see if nobody's gone into the chat to say hello to me today. I hope you do. I pop in. If you check this out from Twitter, please pop that out. Give me a moment while I whip this out. All you great hashtaggers would know what that's from. Movie people. All right. So that was the Royal Gorge. Now we're just going to head back the way we came in and make our way over to Bishop Castle. And then we'll go land in Pueblo and have some awesome Mexican food at the Mill Stop. It's, you know, I would say the best is at my house. But I would have to say, after trying a lot of people's Mexican food, it was pretty dang good. I wouldn't be ashamed to take you there, that's for sure. Ah.
Say that you don't love her anymore, but I'm pretty sure that you do. I see the far away look in your eyes when you know she's been waiting for you. So all I can do is walk out that door, try to forget what we had. We had so many.
Get some of that coffee underneath my seat there.
I'll try.
You know what? They don't want you drinking coffee if you become a pilot. Now I understand. Even growing up, I didn't understand what a catheter was, and now I see all these commercials. I'm a 50-year-old pilot, and never in my life did I need catheter. But now that they have them, and I still didn't even understand what he was talking about. How are you a pilot, and what does a catheter do? And now I know, and I don't want anything to do with that whatsoever. Like, you shouldn't drink coffee if you're going to be a pilot because it makes you want to urinate more frequently, and we can't have that. Well, yeah. That's one thing I don't understand, why they don't have a little tube just going out to the bottom of the plane, or to a tank or something. The idea of a catheter, that's the stupidest crap I've ever heard. What kind of a freak are you? Freak pilot are you? No, thank you. A bottle, I don't care. So they got this little device out here on the wing, which I can't see from this angle. It's called a pitot tube. And it's a very, very important piece of equipment on an aircraft. But the name always cracked me up because in my mind, when I first heard it, I'm thinking, a pitot tube. That would be a tube that allows you to go pee, right? When you're in the plane? No, nothing like that whatsoever. Both suffer from blockage, though. They can. She's pretty straightforward flying. She does have a propeller, but you really don't mess with it too much. It's for your RPM. It's a variable pitch propeller. Can't really do any fine tuning with your mixture in this one on your conditioner here. It's either that or it's off. Here's the propeller. And again, max RPM. If you're just kind of cruising along, you got a good flow going, you could bring this back a little bit. Take it easy on your engine a little bit. And then your throttle This is an aileron trim. Yada yada yada. There's not a lot to it. It looks like there's a lot, but it's not as complex as you think. So this next place, I'm sure the lady is going to tell you about it. I do believe this one is in the tours. This is one of those places that a man just decided I'm gonna build a castle for my wife. It doesn't look so much like a castle in your mind. You'll see it. But either way, one guy has been building on this for years. And it was deemed a little too unsafe for us to go out there and do all of our there was this activity we used to do, fantasy fighting, full contact fantasy fighting, and it was called the Blood Bowl. And mostly just guys with wearing whatever padding they can put on, beating each other up with padded weapons. And we were going to have one out here, but they just deemed it a little too unsafe. And knowing a lot of people that would show up, we didn't, that are just followers. Some of the followers aren't so great, and we didn't want to have people that we weren't absolutely certain about, because he was cool with it. Yeah, man, that'd be the coolest thing ever, is people to do all this mock combat around his place. What are you doing? What the plane wants to do here? Nah. I'm not hip to it. Sorry. What I wanted to do is I would have to clear the nav. Put it in a heading hold. Let's just do a heading. Cross-armed here. Okay, there's heading. Now my view has changed. Alright, so let me put this thing into a heading hold. Put that on. Don't need that. And we'll do an alt hold. Now hopefully we're just going straight. Okay. Good. Now I can pop out and so Colorado Springs is back there. That's where we took off from. Then went around the corner. Now we're just coming back this way. Pueblo's pretty much behind us. Earlier this week, I did a ghost. I want to see some of the ghost towns because they're on the ground again. They're not all realized beautifully yet. But one of the most famous ghost towns in Colorado is called St. Elmo's. So earlier this week, I did a Finding St. Elmo's. I'd never been there. I've been camping in the area. I never knew it was really there when I was a kid. So it's not too far from here either. And I take off from the springs and kind of go the way we were going just a moment ago. Keep going that way for 30 minutes, 40 minutes or so. Where'd it go? I don't see it. She's not acrobatic. With the things that I want to do is like throw some rudder in and do a hard turn and probably end up flipping her out of the sky if I do. So I got to be kind of careful. So to all the hashtaggers out there, the hashtag gamers, I don't really do that so much anymore. What the hell happened to our marker? Now it's switched to pause. Yeah, it says it's pretty much below us. I'm gonna say, where's it's got to be here? It's gotta. Should have followed the roads. I think there it is. Yeah, so all the great hashtaggers out there. Thank you. Thank you. Lots of great games. I better turn down the pretzel music in case the tour kicks in. And this may not be it. I feel like we're right on it. Does not seem like it, but no, that's not it. Do. Yeah, she's hidden back in here.
Kitty is 2-1, contact Denver Center on 128.375. Good day.
Next ridge over, maybe?
Going to 128.375. Kitty is 2-1. Denver Center, Kitty is 217,600 feet.
Kitty is 2-1, Denver Center, altimeter 29.90. Continue as planned. Kitty is 2-1, contact Denver approach on 120.1. Good day.
Going to
Huh.
1.1. Kitty is 2-1. Denver approach Kitty is 217,800 feet.
Kitty is 2-1, Denver approach altimeter 29.89. Continue as planned. Kitty is 2-1, contact Denver Center on 128.375. Good day.
128.375. Kitty is 2-1. Denver Center, Kitty is 218,300 feet.
Do.
Altimeter 29.89. Continue as planned.
Yikes. Yeah, from the ground. You're just following roads. Yeah, okay. But our little vector, GPS vector in the bottom says we're on course. We should be over it momentarily. Yeah, it is tucked down there. That's not normally why I don't fly it. You can't really get down into it. If you have a helicopter or something, that'd be nice. Luckily, we can just pause and
Bishop Castle is an elaborate and intricate one-man project named after its constructor, Jim Bishop,
That's
that has
not it.
become a roadside attraction in central Colorado. The castle is located in south-central Colorado on State Highway 165 in the wet mountains of southern Colorado in the San Isabel National Forest, southwest of Pueblo, Colorado. Overview. Bishop bought the land for the site for $450 when he was 15, and construction on what was originally intended to be a family project to build a cottage started in 1969. After Bishop surrounded the cottage with rocks, several neighbors noted that the structure looked something like a castle. Bishop took this into consideration and soon began building his castle. In 1988, Bishop's third child, 4-year-old Roy, was killed in a logging accident at the castle site. When Bishop was asked in 2016 why he continued to build the castle, he replied, "Well, what am I gonna run to?"
this is not it. It is around here, though. We're in the right vicinity. Do that way. But here's the road. Yeah, we found the road. I was sad about his son. I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all. Do a U-turn over here. Just in case it's over here. I've been here before, but once.
Kineas 21 contact Denver approach on 120.1. Good day.
That doesn't look like a castle.
120.1 for Kineas 2.
Oops. Haha. The other view, please. Nope, that doesn't look like a castle. Nope, that's not it. Oh, I'm gonna be so bummed if I can't find this thing for you. And the navigation of the POI is not working right. Nothing's working right today, but it should have a marker, which is the most interesting thing. Let me go try to find out points of interest. Aha, everything was off. Well, that's the reason. All right, let's see if we got something now. There. Excellent. Should have had that on from the start. Double check, but so much to think about.
Denver Center, Kineas 219,100 feet.
Kineas 21 Denver Center altimeter 29.9 to continue as planned.
Now that looks more castle-like. All right, we have found it. Let me play that again.
Bishop Castle is an elaborate and intricate one-man project named after its constructor, Jim Bishop, that has become a roadside attraction in central Colorado. The castle is located in south-central Colorado on State Highway 165 in the wet mountains of southern Colorado in the San Isabel National Forest, southwest of Pueblo, Colorado. Overview. Bishop bought the land for the site for $450 when he was 15, and construction on what was originally intended to be a family project to build a cottage started in 1969. After Bishop surrounded the cottage with rocks, Several neighbors noted that the structure looked something like a castle. Bishop took this into consideration and soon began building his castle. In 1988, Bishop's third child, 4-year-old Roy, was killed in a logging accident at the castle site. When Bishop was asked in 2016 why he continued to build the castle, he replied, "Well, what am I gonna run to?"
Right? What is, I mean, you've built something like that. Where are you going to go? What are you going to do? Why, with the world the way it is and the world out there, why would you not just want to stay here? Yeah, isn't that something? Unbelievable. When he was 15 years old. I envy that. I really wish it's, you know, looking back in my life, man, maybe that would have been the best thing that happened to me too. My dad would have just said, here's a little plot of land. Have at it. Have fun. The gatehouse. Sorry. A beautiful thing. Yeah, and in the middle of all of this, the only thing that's missing to me in, you know, it probably has a well, but it would be nice to have water. An abundance of water on the property somewhere. Little mini ponds or lakes or something. A lake. Okay. Let's turn up the music, kick back, and make our way to Pueblo for the Mexican food I promised. That button is tied to the wrong thing. My buttons is accidentally tied to volume.
Back to Oklahoma. I just need a fast freight and one night and one day to be back in Oklahoma. Be it dusty or muddy or windy or warm. Back in Oklahoma. When the noon sun gets too hot, we'll find us a cool spot. Back in Oklahoma. There's rattlers and tattlers and born-again tractors back in Oklahoma. There's chicken hogs and cakewalks and bohunks and podunks back in Oklahoma. Well, the truck stops here and I'm glad to be near my home in Oklahoma. So tonight I'll pray that tomorrow's the day I'll be waking up back in Oklahoma.
Not me. I'd rather be here.
Pray for the day I could move away far from Oklahoma. I wanted the bright lights. I got a Tartar jump start and a trucker's wife back in Oklahoma. But the fancy lights dimmed and I started missing them back in Oklahoma. So I pointed my old Pontiac toward that little country shack back in Oklahoma. Wildcatters drill dry wells deeper than Satan's hell back in Oklahoma. Where the honky-tonk pickers got the brown bag their liquor back in Oklahoma. At the Saturday night fish fry that jug will send me sky high back in Sunday morning comes around, you'll find my head bowed down back in Oklahoma. It's either a twister or the sun trying to blister my back in Oklahoma. I'm digging onions and taters, frying fatback and tomatoes back in Oklahoma. They got moon pies and knee highs and women with beehives back in Oklahoma. So I don't need your champagne, keep your watch and gold chain. I'm retiring back in Oklahoma. Oh, I don't need your champagne, keep your watch and gold chain. I'm retiring back in Oklahoma.
Not me. No.
I've been the kind of girl who takes it slow. I've fallen fast, but I've always had control. I've never let myself get out too far. Beyond those lines I had drawn when it came to my heart. But I'm thinking maybe I just might let myself go. Whether it's wrong or right, no one needs to know. Get a little reckless, step out on that ledge, fall into someone's arms tonight. Maybe I just might. Will I put my watch up in the dresser drawer? Going out somewhere that I've never been before. I'll take a chance if it's a chance we're taking. Could do some good to do a little changing. And I'm feeling maybe I just might let myself go. Whether it's wrong or right, no one needs to know. Get a little reckless, step out on that ledge, fall into someone's arms tonight. Maybe I just might live my life like it's just begun. Do some things I've never done. Stay out till the morning sun. Maybe I just might let myself go. Whether it's wrong or right, no one needs to know. Get a little reckless, step out on that ledge, fall into someone's arms tonight. Maybe I just might. Maybe I just might. Maybe I just might. Maybe I just might.
Oh, what is that? Oh, some things you can't unsee on Twitter. You scroll and whoa, whoa, ambush, whoa. I didn't want to see that. Ladies of Twitter, yeah, kill me. Getting too old. Need heart pills every time I get on Twitter now. Oh, that's gonna kill me. Thank you to Bob Janky. You make Twitter a beautiful place. Janky, Jonky, whatever. I don't know. You'd know, Bob. If you know Bob, you know Bob. Simple as that, right? Von Peepster. Yeah, if you know Von Peepster, you know Von Peepster. Following Kevin Sorbo. I don't think he's following me, but he's an interesting fella. So 15 miles from our destination, Pueblo Municipal Airport. And again, I'm going through the list of, I'm going through the feed actually. They finally found the TF, what was it? TMFINR gal. Oh no, Doug Stanhope. Oh, colonoscopy? I knew he was feeling sick lately. Get better soon, Doug Stanhope. Recover well. Great comedian. Speaking of comedians, usually, on Fridays, I like to give a shout out to Zoltan. He's one of my favorite comedians out there right now. If you're not following at Zoltan, the Zoltan Comedy, please do. That's one person you should follow. One of the hardest working comedians out there. The guitar in this reminds me of the George Michael tune. My memories served me far too well. All right, I better call it in to Pueblo. We're getting awful close. Let them know that we would like to land.
Different shades of gray, they left me staring down silver eyes.
Hey, pub.
Pueblo Tower, Kitty is 21, is 11 miles southwest, 8,900 feet. Back to
I had a dream last night that I threw my sins into the fire.
Left base runway 35.
All the battles that I won, all the wrongs just came undone as the ashes rose into the sky.
So Pueblo's a huge, at least in the past, it used to be a huge steel mining and mining, smelting and all that stuff, right? So right down here is all the railroads and freight lines and this and that and this, but you can see a lot of the coal and things along here, right? So there's this giant mill, steel mill, connected to all these buildings down here. And the restaurant we're looking for was called the Mill Stop, so people would get off work. It's right in there in this neighborhood, and it would serve all these mill workers and steel mill workers. So the place I want to take you is just right back over here. And if you're in Pueblo, look up the Mill Stop. You can also look up like the pantry. I would say but that's more like diner food. But I love Mexican food. get in here, turn off the autopilot. Turn down the engine. Turn down the throttle. Bring our propeller back. We don't need all heavy RPM at the moment.
Indian 21 wind 326 at 3. Cleared to land runway 35.
Clear to land runway.
They have a nice aerospace air history and aerospace museum they built on next to the airport over here. Just found out about that actually. I know it's been there, but just found out they've been adding a bunch of stuff to it. So all my training in the simulator is mostly done around here, between Colorado Springs, learning how to fly between Colorado Springs, Pueblo, back to Colorado Springs, over to Denver, and just keep rinsing and repeating. We'll slow down once we get down and start pulling the nose back up. That'll put us in flap range.
I've wrangled and I've rambled and I've rodeoed around. I never once thought of settling down, but darling,
The Pueblo Weisbrod Aircraft Museum is a non-profit aviation museum located in southern Colorado. It was founded in the mid-1970s by former Pueblo city manager Fred Weisbrod. The museum is made up of 2 hangars that were built in 2005 and 2011. The hangars house several of the museum's aircraft along with thousands of artifacts dating from World War I to modern day. Pueblo is home to the International B-24 Memorial Museum and the Southern Colorado Space Museum and Learning Center. There are several historic military vehicles in the museum's collection, many of which are still in operational condition. The museum is located 6 miles east of Pueblo, Colorado on US Highway 50 at the Pueblo Memorial Airport, occupying space on what was the Pueblo Army Air Base during World War II. It is managed and maintained by the Pueblo Historical Aircraft Society. The museum's collection includes around 40 military and civilian aircraft, as well as several military vehicles. The museum hosts periodic open cockpit days and fly-ins at the neighboring Pueblo Memorial Airport. Pueblo houses an extensive collection of books and research material in the museum's library. The museum is run by a volunteer staff of men and women who provide tours, run the gift shop and do aircraft restoration and maintenance.
Yeah, and that's on the facility we're at right now. Welcome to Pueblo. And we started way over there in Colorado Springs. You can barely see the top Pikes Peak sticking out over there. So it was fun. We normally again, I do airline flights for these, but I thought this was a little bit more fun, sticking closer to the ground and doing a couple landmarks around here. Been thinking about going back to Chaco Canyon. There's not a whole lot to see, but it still is very interesting. So I'll try to put together something for next week. Anyway, I hope you had a great time. Thank you. This was an appreciation of you. Thank you for being great, for following me at all. Thank you. I can't thank you enough for that. But you're fantastic. If I'm following you, you're special. To me, anyway, I think that you really stand out on Twitter. In all the millions and seas of people that we're dealing with around us, you stand out so much. And you make Twitter great. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me change this over here. I really could use your help getting my subscription numbers up. I know, don't feel obligated, feel guilty. No, I'm kidding. I really could. I really need, on YouTube, it's all gonna, I don't monetize and I'm not blue checked on Twitter and I'm not getting any of the benefits from monetization or any of that on Twitter. This is where it's happening for me on YouTube. So if you have a YouTube account, please subscribe. Not the most positive song to end a live stream on. I didn't plan any of the music. Have a great weekend.